Hello and welcome back to Design Your Life Session 1 Q&A. How are you doing with your vision casting, and how are you doing writing down what your wildest dreams are and your bucket list and what you would like to accomplish in your lifetime? I hope it's going great. If you are joining me for the first time or for the second time, feel free to share. If you're on your phone, just swipe it up and share it with your friends. That way the video will go to your wall and you can review it again later. Hi everybody, I'm Pamela Waldrop Shaw, author of Design Your Life 90-Day Planner, and today we are going to set the timer for 30 minutes. So here we go on that, setting the timer for 30 minutes. Start so that we can really just give each other the best of that 30 minutes, and I am going to walk through the questions that you had about the planner from Sunday. Thank you so much for getting on. Thank you so much for sharing with your friends. I'm so energized. I read your comments, I read your questions, and do you know what I know? I know there's a great interest in how to design the life that you want to live and how to live your best life now. And I'm so privileged and so blessed to be able to share with you what I've learned along my way. Okay, let me jump in here. So, first and foremost, I will talk to you more about your homework when we get together on Sunday. I'll be back on Sunday for session 2, this coming Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Time. I'll tell you that again at the end. So on this past Sunday, what I gave you was an overview of the planner. And in that overview, I gave you a few of the principles that it was really created around. The first one is the 90-day principle. Did you know that in 90 days, you can change anything in a productive way? In 90 days, you can change your life. You can change your marriage, you can change your body, you can change your career. 90 days of consistent effort, and you can see a radical different change in your life. And so here's the thing with that. Most planners do not encompass the 90-day cycle. They don't encompass life design, living intentionally. Most planners just give you the totality of a time slot and a date. So what I want to be able to do in my planner, this integrates life design through intentional living, how you want to live, what you want to accomplish. And it combines a life strategy planner. It combines the life strategy. It combines a goal setting aspect combined with how to do habit formation. And this next Sunday, that's going to be session 2, goal setting and creating habits that serve you well. And the third thing this planner does that it integrates is a date book, just the simple date books for appointments and scheduling, the 90-day principle. So that's the first one, the 90-day principle. The second overview is simply this: time invested in one area is time away from another. So when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. And this is so important because intentional living, it's just more exciting. It's without guilt. It's without shame. It's because you're choosing it, and it's filled with hope. And so I want you to keep that piece in mind. The way I invest time doing 1 hour of my day or 1 minute of my day, I'm not doing something else. And then the third principle I gave you was the accumulation factor. And this is so important. It's so important to living a life that you love. No one day will make or break you in any area of your life. Financially, physically, relationally, no one day will make or break you. But time accumulates. And so the choices that you make over time give you a result. Success accumulates in the choices that you make, but so does failure. So your yes and your no have to carry great weight. So time management, prioritization, these are actually skills that play out in the form of daily choices. And so I'm going to jump right in here to your questions and give you some answers because I want to keep you moving. But here's the reality. The skill of time management, the skill of creating habits, it's like working out. You never get there. But with time and tenacity and commitment and perseverance, you get better and you get stronger. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to give attention to that. There's a lot of strategy in the way our brain works that was put together in this 90-day planner. And I want you to be able to maximize the potential of what the planner has for you. On Facebook Live, I'm going to lay it out in segments of time. Successful people are always learners. So congratulations on being here. Tonight, I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to do all the questions and answers. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up 1 week in one day using the book. We're going to go through the process because there were really a lot of questions about that. And then on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 25th at 4 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to bring you session 2 on goal setting and habit formation. So get excited about that. Okay. Again, I hope you're going to share. Just share on your Facebook, share it to your wall, so that your friends can see this, and if you think it'll bring them value, and that you can revisit it if you want to watch it back. So the questions, I've got them written down, so I hope you'll forgo the looking down and looking up that I've got to do, but I'm serious about wanting to address them. Okay, first clarification. Angela says, what is the difference between creating your life bucket list on the first page and the lifetime wish list? Great question, Angela. Because when you go to the very beginning, what you see is that there are really 2 pages for you to fill out. And one of them says, in my wildest dreams, and the other one says, wish list. So I want to talk to you just real quickly about that. It's not a trick question, but it is, the design of it is to get your brain going. How will your brain respond to answering the deep desires of your heart? Will it respond in my wildest dreams before I die, my bucket list? Is that what gets me going? Or is it a wish list? My biggest career vision, my dreams, my desires, let it flow. There could be crossover. That's the answer. One doesn't necessarily differentiate from the other. My goal in creating these first 2 pages is to get your brain going, to get your heart going, to let it flow. Oddly enough, one of the things that I have found with many people when working with a Design Your Life Planner is they don't want to make a mistake and they want it to look pretty. Y'all, mine is a hot mess. I've got sticky pages, I've got yellow pages, I've got stuff coming out of it, I've got dog ears. This is a work in progress. Your life is a work in progress. It doesn't need to look neat. It doesn't need to be neat unless you want it to look neat. It just needs to be effective. So that's the first thing. Start writing your dreams. Just let it flow and really go with that. So I hope you're working on that. I know a lot of you have private messaged me this week to let me know that you have. So let's run into question number 1. Deanne, does it have a month-end calendar? Amber, Michelle, and Ernestine, do I use a separate date book? I don't use a separate date book, and yes, it does have a separate calendar. In the very back, you'll see 90 days of blank pages for you to create, if you want to, a calendar. I highlight in yellow when I'm traveling, so that's kind of what that is all about. But you can create 90 days of a calendar in the back, and this is a bigger calendar than the fold-out one that we talked about first. I've used the one in the back, for example, to go 90 days sugar-free. I've used the one in the back to do 21-day challenges myself. I've used the one in the back as an actual calendar, but what I found is that fold-out calendar is more than enough for me. I do not use an additional book. My life is in here. My life design, integrated, my life design, my planner, my goals, my habits, my daily to-do, and my appointments, all in one place. I'm not looking in 3 places. My focus is not divided. It's all in one place, and that's the idea behind the 90-day planner, Design Your Life. Question number 2, Teresa, do you plan on the yellow notes in this planner or somewhere else and transfer? Clarissa, works full-time. How do you use that sticky pad? Y'all, I love the yellow sticky, and here's how I used it today, okay? This is just, and today, by the way, my inspirational quote was this: the voice you believe will determine the future you experience. The voice you believe will determine the future you experience. You know, anytime I say I am exhausted, I am energetic, I am inspired, I am tired, I am a failure, I am fit. Whatever follows I am follows you. And so you want to take charge of filling your brain with just great positive affirmation. And so I highlighted this one because the voice you believe will determine the future you experience. Back to the sticky note. Here's mine for today. See, it wouldn't get an A if you were grading it on cuteness and neatness, but it's effective because it detailed the half hour of my day. I've moved it around from my table to my planner to a different place in my planner today. I've moved it around. At the end of the Q&A, I'm going to walk you through my process of how I put together the sticky note and the day at a time. Okay, Danielle says, do you plan on the yellow notes in this planner or somewhere else in transfer? I'm going to walk you back to that as well. Okay, Melissa, Thank you for going over this with us. Do you plan your day the night before on the yellow sticky note? And Kimberly, how much time do you take to plan each day? These are great questions. Yes, I do plan the night before. That's one of the habits that we're going to really get ingrained in your way of thinking. It's so important that you embrace taking on a new habit. Before you go to bed, you really do want to have the structure of checking off what you've done and transferring what you haven't done that you want to do tomorrow. And whatever amount of time that takes, honestly, it takes me probably anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. And I do that. And then I set my coffee pot, and then I let my dog go out, and then I crate my dog, and then I turn the lights out downstairs, and then I set the house alarm, and then I walk upstairs, and then I take my makeup off, and I wash my face, and there's a routine. What's your routine? Do you have a routine at night that creates the structure of your day, that gives you the security of, so that when you go to bed, your mind is not whirling. You're not, oh, I forgot to write down, or I mean to do. Have you ever done that? Do you ever do that? I forgot to write down. I've got to go. Oh, I've got to make a list. I can't forget to, the grocery. I need to put eggs on the grocery list. All of those things. If you're working at night before you go to bed and you make that list, you're free to go to sleep when you're ready to go to sleep. Okay, so Kimberly, how much time do you take to plan? Pam says, I've heard you say your first 2 hours in the morning and your last hour in the evening reveal your success. What should that look like? I have an idea, and mine are somewhat in that direction, but could you elaborate? I did just a little bit just then, Pam, but yes, I believe that successful people have a structured morning and a structured evening, and that in that structure, what happens is you frame your day, that there are things you can count on in the morning and in the evening. I wake up at the same time every day with about a half an hour. And then what I do after that, from go straight downstairs, turn the alarm off, go downstairs, grab my cup of coffee, and go straight to my quiet time. Before I check technology, before I check email, before I listen to someone else's voice, I sit and have my quiet time. I want to really bathe and bask and sit in the morning in front of the Lord in presence and find just a fresh place. You know, His mercies are new every day. I don't want to miss out on that. And so that's the front part of my day. And then I eat a quick breakfast, and then I get my dog out, and then I get ready for my workout, and then I leave at about 8:30 to go to my workout Monday through Friday. That's the morning part of the structure in a nutshell. And then the workout lasts about the same time. I get home close to 10, and then my work day starts at that point. In the evening, I frame it around probably about the last hour, and there's a consistency there. And so I hope that helps you. Now, my habit doesn't need to be your habit. What do you want to do the first part of your day? What do you want to do the last part of your day? I'll tell you who doesn't get anything accomplished: the person who wakes up and doesn't have a plan for the first hour. The person who wakes up and doesn't have a plan for the first hour doesn't get anything accomplished. Things draw you: the mail, the laundry, the dishes, the pile, the distraction, the phone call, the notification, the email, your computer, Facebook, someone else's fabulous life. You're drawn to something else if you don't have a plan. So when you get up and you do have a plan, then you can frame your day inside of the structure of that plan. Okay, Danielle says, my question is one I've had before, and I think you said you were going to go into it. You always ask, what is the one thing? What is the one thing you want in 90 days that can change your life? But then there's 7 areas and categories of goals. So how do we pick the one thing to focus on to change in 90 days, or the one goal in each category? So 7 goals in 90 days. Danielle, you join me on Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time, sister, and I'm going to walk you through all of that. We're going to talk about goals and goal setting, how many goals to set, over what window of time, how to create how much time goes into those goals. So that is a Sunday lesson. Susan says, color coding. Color coding, is there a trick to color coding? And so here's the thing. No, I just like color. If you want to color code it, you can. You can create colors for codes. I just like color. I just like for things to stand out so that when I know what I'm writing in the evening, I know what color it is the next day, and I'm drawn to just the, when I check off one color, I feel like I've accomplished something. That's the way my brain works. How do you want to do it? Notice the cover of your book. What does it say? It says, Design My Life. Okay, so when you're looking at it, it doesn't say, Design Your Life, Pam Shaw. It says, Design My Life. I'm designing my life, and I'm living my vision. And I selected the word my versus yours so that when you're reading it, you take ownership, not only in the planner and the process, but you're designing your life. This is your one life. This is your life. This is your chance at your life to live your best life. And I want to create a healthy urgency in supporting you to do it. So color code, color, no color, it's completely up to you. Amy says, how do you live day to day with your vision and the clarity of your vision? So I'm going to go into this more on Sunday, but I'm just going to give you a real quick question. You've got to learn to be a better coach for yourself. You've got to learn how to talk to yourself. If you walked into my house, you might sometimes see me talking to myself. And you might think, oh my gosh, she's lost her mind. But if I've got to keep my vision and my clarity in the minute of day to day, there are so many things grabbing at my attention, pulling at my attention. It could be as simple as the guy who's mowing my lawn, the yard blower. That could distract me for a minute. That could get me off course. So I've got to have a lot of clarity. So here's a series of questions that I ask myself when I'm trying to keep my vision and my goals in line and there's an interruption in my day. What do I want now? I want to take a break. I want to eat a cookie. I want to have a snack. I want to do nothing. I would rather do nothing. I want to scroll on Facebook. I want to look at pictures. I want to shop online. Okay. What do I want more? What do I want now? What do I want more? I more want to support leaders of leaders. I more want to support people in designing their lives and living their vision. I more want to fit into my clothes, the clothes of a fit female. So I want to eat this, but I really want this. What do I want now? And what do I want most? And those are two questions that will go the distance if you'll ask them of yourselves. And so, Amy, that's one way that I combine my vision with the clarity of day to day. Lene says, Pam, when you overplan, how do you make up for what you didn't accomplish? And then Heather asks, if you don't accomplish all you plan, how do you reevaluate your list to incorporate those things that you plan to do and didn't do those things that were already on your list next? Well, you know what? Heather, you answered the question for both yourself and for Lene. You reevaluate the list. Sometimes we write things down that we would like to do, they would be nice to do, they need to get done, but they don't have to get done. What you'll find in the course of your day as you're designing your life and living your vision, you will get very, very, very comfortable, very familiar with the urgency and the priority. That's really what I'm thinking about when I make my list to go to bed. What's most important? What goes in the number 1 slot? What goes in the number 2 slot? And I already confessed with you on Sunday that I don't know if I've ever lived a perfect day the way I designed it. I don't know if I ever have done everything on the list in the exact time frame, but I'll tell you what, the person who makes the list, creates the design, and goes after it is far more productive than the person who does not. And so I'll just reevaluate the list and decide, does this even need to go on this week? Sometimes I'll take white it out, and I'll transfer it a couple weeks forward. Why? Because every day in my planner is going to be dated in ink, right? So I know how far forward I can take it. Leah says, how do I give my best intentions of time to my vision and dreams during the few hours left after 10 hours of work each day? How do I fit it all in without feeling like it's getting my leftover time? Leah, I'm going to invite you to reframe that. Time is time. Time is time. It's not leftover time. It's not prime time. It's not nap time. Time is time. And so it's the time you do have. So instead of positioning it as the leftover time or the time that you don't have or the little bit of time that you have, it's time. It's time that you have. So given the time that you have, what can you do within that time that will take you closer to your goal or the life that you dream of living? Reframe. Instead of looking at it as I only have this much time, it's like I've got 2 hours. I've got 1 hour to design. And that will support you in moving forward. Alex says he's concerned about getting started strong and then fizzling out and the book ending up in a pile. Great concern. We've all done it. We've all done it with a new planner. We've done it with a new piece of workout equipment. We've done it with a lot of things. We want this, but we're so afraid we're going to fizzle out. And so what do you do to keep doing that? It really goes back to Pam's question, I think, of framing your day. These are new habits that you're going to be creating. We all operate in terms of moving towards one thing and away from something else. We all move towards pleasure and we move away from pain. And so we've got to find pleasure in pursuing personal growth. We've got to find pleasure in pursuing knowledge, pleasure in pursuing healthy habits, pleasure in pursuing work that's going to create an outcome that's going to enrich our families and our experiences and the people that we love. And we've got to keep that in front of us. And so the truth is simply this: it's going to take at least 21 days to start the habit. And my experience is it's going to take about 63 days in order to really have the habit owned. So that means 63 consecutive days. 63 consecutive days of framing your day, morning and night, with intentional early rise, later to sleep, whatever it is that you want to do. 63 consecutive days. Okay, I'm going to tell you another personal disclosure today. This is day 2 of me being sugar-free. I will probably always battle the sugar factor. And it's just not good for my body. It's not good for my brain. It's not good for my thinking. It's not good for my bottom. It's not good. It brings my mood down. It makes me sleep more. I quickly gain weight on sugar, and it's a battle. As long as I'm off of it, I really don't even think about it because I love to eat healthy. I love the creative aspect of food, and I've got a lot of healthy foods that I make and that I enjoy. But once I get into a sugar spin, it's kind of the same. It feels like an addiction. So I'm on day 2 of sugar-free, and I'm excited because my brain is clear and I have integrity with myself. And I know that the accumulation of that is going to bring me back to my best size, my best thinking, my best sleep, all of that. That's me. It's not a judgment on you. I'm not trying to push my thing on you, but I'm sharing with you what I know about me. What do you know about you? What do you know about yourself and your habits? What habit would you be really served by tracking yourself and knowing that you're 1 or 2 days in this direction? What habits are you hoping that I'll talk about on Sunday? What goals, what questions do you have about goals and habits that you'd like me to address on Sunday? Fill those in your comment section and we will get to them. But here's what I do know about going the distance. It's a choice. Life is choice driven. God gave us the ability to have free will. We are the only creatures that He created with the ability to think and the ability to choose. It is a gift. But along with that gift comes a tremendous responsibility. And so we just have to decide. Nobody's taking over my body. Nobody's taking over my mind. I can choose. And the choices that I make today will produce the results that I have tomorrow. We do get to choose. And so I get to choose if I go 21 days or 22 days with my planner at night, or 23 days following the habit, or 24 days. Or after 25 days, I say, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. I've got an internet microwave mentality. If it doesn't work now, it's not going to work. That is not how personal growth works. I want you to embrace the journey. We're all on a journey and we are getting better. And if you're intentional about getting better, you're going to get better faster. Okay, I think there was one, Heather had a question. What's a strategy to do things when you don't feel like it? How do you overcome the negative thoughts that drive the want to give in to how you feel at those times? So the first question I'm going to say is, have you scheduled time already to relax and recover? Do you have some downtime? I do. I schedule downtime. I love football. I love sports. And so I record my favorite few shows and watch them, but I schedule that downtime. If you have already scheduled downtime and you have plenty of flexible time to recover, you just need to understand, go back to Ecclesiastes. To everything there is a season and a time for everything under heaven. A time to sing, a time to dance, a time to be born, a time to die. What do I want more? What do I want most? What do I want now? What's the strategy when you don't feel like it? What do I want now? What do I want most? That's the thing. Marcia asked about tips on being mobile. You know, Marcia, people have asked me, and I'm actually in the process of creating an app out of this. I'm not excited about the app because I do believe that having the books and all the little things that you write in the books and the eye-to-hand coordination and the paper, and you know that it's in a certain color on a certain page and back, and you're looking for someone's address or a number that you wrote down or a note that you wrote down or the name of someone, or it's a journal here. Some people carry their 90-day planners with them. Just found a super cute pink leather container, that leather binder carrier that fits it, that I'm going to get for myself, and we'll share that as I figure it out a little bit more. But I leave mine at home. I don't carry mine with me. The one thing I do mobile is I take my appointment calendar and my travel calendar and I transfer it to my iPhone calendar so that those dates are blocked out, so that I know when my dental appointment is, or if someone's asking me, you know, could I do this or this, I can look and see if I'm traveling. Those are the only things that I do transfer to my phone, and that's what I consider mobile enough. But my to-do list and all of that, I still keep in my 90-day planner at home. Okay. So let's see how much time we have, because I want to get through a day showing you how to design one day with a little bit more. We got 4 minutes. Woo! We got 4 minutes. We're going to make it happen. Okay. I want you to go to, if you have your book, go to the beginning of a week, and it looks like this. Just go to the beginning of a week. There's a blank page, and then there is a page, and it says, the week has ended, reflect on it. Okay, this is the beginning of a week. And every week, this is critical. Every week you must do this. Don't just flip through it and go to your list on Monday. You might as well have another date book if that's the case. You're defeating the purpose of this planner. So go to this place and then answer the question. It says, what did I do well? I want you to write something down. I drank 80 ounces of water a day. I filled my planner out every day and I checked off what I did do. I transferred things forward. I put it together at night before I went to bed. So what did I do well? Tell yourself. This is how you retrain your brain, and you say to yourself, I'm a successful person. You know, we spend so much time saying, I can't count on her, him. Can you count on yourself? Can I count on me? I need to be able to count on me. So what did I do well? Next question, what can I improve? Here's a big one. Review your long, short, and benchmark goals. Long-term, short-term, and benchmark goals. Now, we're going to talk about goals on Sunday, but at this point, you're going to flip back and you're going to look at the goal section and you're going to reread them every week, 52 times a year. You're going to read your goals, not just on December 31st, every week, at least once, if not multiple times. Do you think your brain might start embracing your change? I do. Flip the page, and then it says, now design it. It's a new week. Design it. Check past week for undone tasks. Write them here. Go to your master list. We'll talk more about that later. This week, I must. What must you do this week? Daily, I must. For me, that might include something like daily, I must have planned my food the day before so that I'm not grabbing at peanut butter or, grabbing. Check, create a weekly plan calendar. And that would be your weekly plan calendar, Sunday through Saturday. I'm going to design that calendar out itself for the week, and then design your 6 most for tomorrow. Flip the page, and let's just go to my tomorrow, and you can kind of see a little bit about what that looks like. Thursday, I've already kind of started putting it together. So I've started my list here. But you can see a lot of blank on the yellow. I'm going to fill that in tonight and then really redesign the day specifically. But what I have done is I have at least started at the beginning of the week to make that happen. Okay, now that you've got all of your days filled in, you may go 2 or 3 days forward to put some tasks down. And you may not know if they're going to be first or sixth. Put them in pencil until you get ready to design that day the night before. Just put them in pencil as you move forward to another day. Then on the one day that you're working on, which is the one for tomorrow, you've got your sticky, like I know that I've got tomorrow, I've got a 2:40 appointment and a 3 o'clock phone appointment. That's all that's written in there right now. So tonight, before I go to bed, I will come back and I will fill it in from the time I wake up at 6 o'clock until the time that I stop or want to stop tomorrow. And then I will resort my 6 most in order to make sure that they're there. I hope that's been helpful. I hope it's really been helpful. Remember that when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Oh, something I want to show you. Here's how you've been thinking. Here's the way you've been doing things. It's like a crease in a piece of paper. You've been doing things this way. You've been doing things this way over and over. Every day you do them this certain way. You do them this way. Every day you do them this way. You do them the same way. Crease in a piece of paper. You think this way. Your thought gets created. You keep thinking this way. Keep thinking this way. Keep thinking this way. Oh, I'm going to change the way I think. Okay. Well, you turn your piece of paper and you move it, and what happens? It goes back to the old thought. And you try again, and you do it, and it goes back to the old thought. I'm going to try again. It goes back to the old thought. Oops, ding, ding, ding. It's been 30 minutes. Okay, so you've got to have greater intent to create a new crease in the piece of paper. And the more you create that crease and the tighter you create it, the more consistently you do it, the greater the results you're going to have. Your current reality, it's where we are. Your future reality, it's yours to create and to design, to live in your vision every day. And you know what? I know that you can. I know that you can create a future reality that excites you and that serves others. And that's what I'm so energized by supporting you with. So today, when you say, I am what? I am. Because what follows that follows you. Speaking of follows, I hope you'll follow me on Instagram at Pamela Shaw, Snapchat and Twitter at Pamela W. Shaw. There are lots of tips on there for time management as well. Please share the video, Facebook Live, so that your friends can see what we were talking about tonight. And if you shared it with them the other day, share this one with them so that in case their Q&A was on there, that they're able to see it and that you can review it on your own timeline when you have a minute. So, this Sunday, session 2, goal setting and habits. I can't wait to spend 30 minutes with you then. Until then, put your questions on the feed, and I look forward to reading them. God bless you. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time. Have a great night. I love those hearts. Got to figure out how to finish this.